So the Seattle Sea Dragons hold on and beat the Orlando Guardians 26-19. The Sea Dragons are now 4-2, and Orlando is still not in the win column, 0-6 on the season. Let's go through some of the stats for this game. It was a lot closer. They had a chance at the end, but couldn't pull through, the Orlando Guardians, that is. But then that's the beauty about what the XFL is doing, is that these games kind of come down to the end. So Ben DiNucci, 18 of 35, 177 yards, 2 touchdowns and a pick. Not a very huge game from him by any stretch. Still gets the 2 touchdowns. Still threw that interception, though. Kind of turns over the ball. You're pretty much guaranteed to have a Ben DiNucci interception for each game. But he led the team in rushing. 6 carries for 43 yards. Darius Bradwell filled in for Ellison for 12 carries for 32 yards. Not much on the ground game. I mean, Orlando's defense looked like it came to play. On the offensive side, Blake Jackson, 6 catches for 79 yards and a touchdown on 7 targets. Juwan Green, 5 catches for 50 yards, a touchdown on 8 targets. Jordan Vesey had 7 targets, but only 2 catches for 22 yards. And Ja'Cour Pearson, who we think is kind of like the MVP, could be an MVP candidate, only 4 catches, 18 yards on 7 targets. Damon Willis, 1 catch, 2 targets. Here's the number I want you to see. Josh Gordon, 2 targets. That's it. Josh Gordon, 2 targets. That is all. So I don't know what's going on with Josh Gordon. Hope everything is okay with him. We know he's had personal issues. I don't know if that. I haven't heard anything if that's what it is. But you can see, I don't think it's that they were just blanketing Josh Gordon. Jackson, Green, Vesey, and Pearson all had over 7 targets, while Josh Gordon just had 2 targets. On the other side of the ball, the Guardians, let's get to the Guardians. Here we go. Quentin Dormandy, 24 of 44, 243 yards, no touchdowns, no picks, 5.5 average. I still think he's the guy. He's the quarterback for the Orlando Guardians for right now. On the ground, Devin Darrington, 7 carries, 82 yards. He had a 43-yard run with 2 touchdowns, though he had that costly kind of fumble towards the end of the game. Dormandy, 5 of 43. I was saying for Dormandy, he was faking a lot of he would give the handoff and then he would run on the outside. I was like, dude, just keep it and go. Keep it and go. Jermaine Martin, 10 carries, 37 yards. He hasn't really done much of anything for the Guardians during the season. Again, as a team, 162 rushing yards. That's really good. I mean, we think Seattle's defense is really good. Also, aside from their offense, kind of a well-balanced team. They were able to run the ball. That's kind of an interesting thing to keep an eye on as the season goes further. Cody Latimer, 5 catches for 59 yards on 7 targets. Charleston Rambo, 6 catches for 54 yards on 11 targets. And Daniel Williams, 5 catches for 46 yards on 8 targets. The rest are kind of scrambling. Andrew Jamil, of course, one of our guys that we like from Fan Control Football. He also had a catch for 10 yards. Just got to throw that in there. But yeah, Devin Darrington with the fumble. That was kind of hurt them towards the end of the game. So there you have it. There is the final score. Seattle Sea Dragons 26-19 over the Orlando Guardians, and Seattle is now 4-2 in the hunt for the playoffs. Orlando Guardians at 0-6. We thought this. I think they're close. They look a lot better than they did in the beginning of the season. Will they win a game this season? My answer is yes, but we'll have to find out.
We play hard. Like I said, we practiced, we changed some things up, and tried to focus in on where we was having issues at and correct those issues. One thing we did make a few plays on defense. I think that always helps if you're able to not only stop them, but to create some turnovers. We had an opportunity to create a few more turnovers. Came up a little bit short. You can see that by the score. I think if we get the one early to pick in the end zone, that changes the game too.
Yeah, definitely was a very good effort, and came up as a result of the loss. What was your conversation you had right after they scored a touchdown at halftime with the ref?
Well, we missed a few calls. He was he called us for a false start, and I really never heard that. He said the lineman moved his hand, and it was like, I mean, his hand. I mean, we trying to get something going here, and it just seemed like this season just has not. The ball has not bounced all the way. Even though we got one bounce on the during form on the punt return, but besides that, it's like 60-1. I mean, -1 to 60. I mean, we obviously we're not good enough not to come over all that stuff. So we got to go back to the drawing board and try to finish this thing strong.
Coach, too late in the game, normally asking for a face mask call that you didn't get, and that was a review of the play. What kept you from calling the challenge?
I wish I had a view. We hit him. It was on the shoulder pads. That's what we do. We don't. I don't want us to. The refs can hurt you, but you bail them out. Let's make our plays, and that's what I really want us to concentrate on. Make all plays. Let's stop crying and complaining and just do. And with me being the biggest culprit of crying and complaining, just do your job. And that was the focus today. Came up short. Well, not only that, but we switched the coverage up in the back. We disguised, we bailed, we played some man, we doubled some guys. Like I said, we threw everything at them because they are a pretty good team. We was hoping that would turn into make the quarterback read a little bit. He hurt us a little bit with his legs, but overall it was very good. Not great because obviously we didn't get the win, but we are heading in the right direction, and the young men need a lot of credit for the fight that they have. Quentin did a very good job. Again, we scored. What was the score? 19. I mean, that's our second highest output of the year. Made a few mistakes here and there. One of the big ones, obviously, getting a holding call when we punching in on a throw by, and that's one thing I was telling the refs too. When you actually hold somebody, the linemen they actually hold and they fall on them. When you slap somebody on the shoulder pads and throw them by, that's when they go that way. It's all about angles, and I couldn't understand why would they call that. We're not getting that on the other side. You do one good thing, three bad things happen, and then